I've tried to do start New Game Plus like a million times already, and it's gone wrong like every single time because basically there's too many things that can be missed very easily, and which then deny the endings like that I'm trying to unlock. And so in order to do this as quickly as possible but also without missing anything, I'm gonna have to follow, or at least pay close attention to, a guide, because otherwise it's just gonna be a complete mess. So in order to get, so there's a joke ending here, but you know, might as well clear that as well in the meantime. And then for these two endings, we have, the main thing is not taking any pills, and then getting this sacred sword, right? That's basically the gist of it. But of course there's also, you know, other new stuff that you find in New Game Plus. And so in order to just experience all of that as quickly as possible, yeah, I'm gonna have to pay close attention to the guide. What we're gonna do is keep everything the same as it was on the first playthrough. The reason being that when the puzzle difficulty is the same, the solutions are the same, which allows for quicker skips. So one thing which is useful, at least for seeing the new content, is this indicator here at the bottom right. Basically indicating if there's anything new in the cutscenes or not. I think for this scene, it's just this part. Actually, one thing which I didn't notice, which now I do, even though I've seen this scene in New Game Plus like 5 times now because of all the failures, is that Hinako actually has that fox brooch on her uniform already. I'm not sure that was there before. So maybe that is also, because some of the new stuff in the cutscenes isn't very obvious. Like, sometimes it's very subtle differences. Sometimes it's really obvious when there's something new. I mean, the only thing which I think is, I can't remember if it's different or not, but I mean, the bell is important. The sort of apprehension when she's sort of stepping towards Hinako and then she kind of stops, which I forgot to point out as it happened, but that is also interesting. But again, we need to remember that like none of this is real. It seems like even from now. So it seems that yeah, I don't think there's anything new in the rest of that. So it seems that what we learned... It seems that what we learned in the last, like from the first playthrough, which by the way, like, so that there's some things that I did find on the first playthrough which are actually meant for other endings, but you can't unlock those endings anyway the first time. The first ending is always locked. So so in other words, it's kind of a little bit rough doing all that exploration in the first playthrough, because you'll find things that that won't even unlock anything really in that particular playthrough anyway. But what I was going to say is that what is happening based on the first playthrough is that it's basically to do with how Hinako's father, I guess, like sort of sold her off to some kind of marriage in order to pay off his debts. And at some point, Hinako turns to drugs, which is what the pills are symbolizing, which I guess, you know, pretty standard for a psychological thriller slash psychological horror. Turns out it's a drug problem. That is also kind of typical Silent Hill style, I suppose. Like there's a supernatural element, but then there's also a quote unquote real element to it. Here we have the Fox's wedding, so I guess it's also, yeah, Spirited Away. It's basically a term for that. So yeah, new journal entries, new lore stuff. Obviously, I'm gonna try to pick up as much of that as I can, but to be honest with you, I don't even know if that was, if maybe that particular that particular collectible was even available, you know, even before in the first playthrough, and I just missed it, right? It's also possible. Because there's definitely one other thing that I missed, which is, I mean, I had seen it on a previous play, like when I was doing like a test run, which is this. And this is actually weirdly ends up getting marked on the map, but I sort of missed it when I actually did the first playthrough. I didn't turn in here, but there is a journal entry for it. Another Inari-sama journal entry. So here's one thing that at least they do to sort of get you to interact with the New Game Plus content. They sort of, you know, make sure that you enter this house, which you couldn't enter the first time. So researcher investigating folklore in a village or whatever is pretty standard for as in it happens in Higurashi, for example. So I'm pretty sure anyway. So this is the thing about finding the sword. There are 5 Jizo statues. Each one of them requires an offering. So this is like absolutely crucial because that's the way that you get the sword, which is basically the key to unlocking some, I mean, the two of the endings. Yeah, so that's where the there's a lot of boxes, but that's where the main one is. I mean, the main thing that we need to get is. I think there's also one here as well. I'm not actually sure, like, you know, what this little house actually is, because it seems like some of Hinako's stuff is in here, but it's like a separate building. But it can, of course, again, like, this is not exactly a real, situation. I mean, I'm sure the town itself is based on... Okay, inventory capacity, always good. Is based on her actual hometown, but obviously none of this is actually real. Yeah, okay. So there's like a bunch of fake notes here. I guess I did get chocolate from that as well, which is helpful. But I don't think they all come with... I mean, that you can get something for all of these. But you do get the notes. I don't know if there's like an achievement for picking up all the notes, but otherwise they're fairly useless. Faded Bride Doll. So that's the offering that we need to offer the Jizo statue. Okay, so that's that. So yeah, my plan was, obviously to get through this as quickly as possible. It's not like I want to do a full, full exploration playthrough again, which I already did, going into every nook and cranny of every dead end, etc. to get whatever. And I guess what I got out of that in the first playthrough was mainly items and yeah, just stuff that allowed me to get more offering currency to upgrade the character, but and then some lore stuff, I guess. But obviously, if we had to do that all again on New Game Plus, like we'd end up with a similar playtime, which is what we're trying to avoid. Now, this is one of the Jizo statues, so I definitely noticed these, or at least I think I did. These statues with this red thing there, and sometimes they were missing a head and things like that. So I did notice them, but you couldn't do anything with them, obviously, on the first playthrough. Now you can. Now this one, actually, it's not that easy to see this one. They don't really... Even if you come in here to sort of explore this dead end, I mean, you don't get... Even now, like, even when I'm looking at it right now, you don't get the indicator that you can actually interact with it. So that's annoying. And same thing, like, coming back here. See, now you get it. But, I mean, you could easily miss this. So this... So at least you do get, this journal entry. This is the one that that will tell you, okay, it's confirmed that you've done it. One thing, though, is that there is... If I didn't already have the offering and I came to the statue would actually kind of show me. It would give me clues as to, like, where I should go to get the offering, at least. So there is that. And so it would have shown me the house, with the box, etc. That's what it would have gotten me, but yeah. In this case, we already had it, so... Now here, nothing new there, so I will skip that particular scene. It's just the bird, I guess. I think it was a bird. But, it's true that, like, after you play the first time, you realize that bird is actually pretty symbolic, because Hinako is also associated with like a small bird type of situation, so I guess there is that. Yeah, so I think, again, like, once you play the game once, you realize, like, that is a reflection of... I mean, they're basically discussing, I think, the marriage. And that, like, Hinako somehow ended up being married off to somebody, and they're, like, wondering, like, how did that happen?
車が道を塞いでてさ。千鶴や？今は誰かと喋りたくて。私も後から行くね。うん。じゃあね。裏切り者。
So I'm not actually sure what the new content was there in that scene. It might have been the voice effect on that last Sakuko voice line, but I'm not actually sure. It could also have just been Hinako's reaction afterwards. Definitely some stuttering here in the performance, which is kind of rough, but I guess, you know, I don't know. Once it's kind of loaded the whole place, like maybe it'll be better. Anyway, there's nothing new here, so we're going straight into the chase sequence. And I guess the new thing here is that at least you sort of understand now that actually the fog monster is Hinako, or at least an aspect of her. So that's interesting, I guess. So that bell sound, at the moment, I'm going to take that bell sound to mean that, you know, like the helpful version of the sister is there. Because again, like, I don't know whether it's the same as the Tengu version with the mask that looks more like a corpse. Who seemed sort of less than helpful, let's say. So I'm still going with the idea that I don't know if they're the same entity. Whether they're exactly the same, or whether there's like one version that of her sister that's actually trying to help with the that uses that doll, or whether they are just the same. I don't know. But I do think that doll has to be, you know, that has to be the sister in some way. Yeah, so this is pretty diabolical because, okay, the red capsules, we need to never use these. As soon as we use one of these, we've thrown away the playthrough. So that's pretty diabolical, but we just need to get rid of them. And we also should make sure that they're not showing up, you know, once I get more items, I need to make sure that I'm not putting that in, I think we can use this healing over time. I think it's healing over time, but I could be wrong. But I think that's preferable to using a bandage here, but yeah. Anyway, the whole point is, I mean, one thing which is, I guess, weird is that the pills do come from Shu, which is pretty rough. And I think the pills can also be found in his, like any area that's linked to him. Now, I need to be very careful here because Oh, that was kind of a neat effect, just seeing that in real time. Um, I need to be very careful here because we are going to need to get... Like, there's a collectible. I don't think it's right now, though. But we do need to be very, very careful with that. Of course, like, many saves is going to help because if we do screw up, having an extra save is going to be very helpful just to fix it. So one thing about the enemies in this game is that since they give you the weapon early now, you are able to fight earlier, which also means that there's things you can do a little bit faster, which we'll see soon. But the trade-off is that the enemy placement is a little bit more diabolical because before, sometimes they would, you know, warn you about an enemy being around. They would warn you about it by showing you like a cutscene or something. But now it's not like that. Now they might just throw it at you. So here there would normally be the cutscene where you see the monster for the first time. But instead of that, you see it's actually already waiting here. And so we're going to get the grab attempt, which is pretty difficult, you know. I think if you're not ready for that, I haven't actually been hit by that grab, even though I've done this segment now in New Game Plus like 3 or 4 times. But it didn't get me. But there is another one which is even more diabolical than that, which we will see at some point. Now, let's see. I need to be very careful here because there are missable things here. And it's unfortunate because, yeah, as much as I would like to not explore, right? Because obviously exploration just gets you into trouble. I think we need to target that door. It's either that... I mean, actually what we're looking for is something that I did already find on the first playthrough that I did. So that's... But like I say, I was not able to actually influence the ending anyway, even though I found it. Now let's see where we are. Wonder where this thing actually is. Okay, let me just check real quick. Make sure that I'm going the right direction. Okay, yeah, it is. So let's see. It's here and to the left. Now, it could be that I do get jump scared here. I'm not sure because I haven't really done this segment this way. But yeah, it's here. So I did actually find this on the first playthrough. This area here. And it's actually this whole radio thing. So this is like a UFO ending related thing. So I did find that last time as well. And I think I found like a couple of other radios too, because there's more. But yeah, basically it didn't matter because you can't unlock the UFO ending on this playthrough anyways. I mean on the first playthrough. Okay, so now I think we can just progress the normal way, which I'm now struggling to remember. I mean, I think it is actually in the same direction. It's just that I don't go into that left corner. I just keep going this way. Or it's like up here. Yeah. And then unfortunately we do have to go through like a couple of scares here. So red capsules again, we do not pick those up. Yeah, so there's something here. They actually put a monster like right here. See that? That is diabolical. Oh, mistake. Just misjudged the... Oh, I actually did get a counter there, even though I didn't get the indicator. That's diabolical. Like, they really put one, like, here in this very, very small corner. That is a tough one. And that did get me, I mean, not badly, because it's not like a grab attack, which is like the worst type of jump scare. But it was not good. Like, it was definitely, definitely that is a diabolical one. And that one I do not remember, right? Like, on the first playthrough, I don't remember that. So you got red capsules here. Obviously, the whole idea is we are not picking that up. But I do think we should be looking at the rest of this stuff. If there's any other items here, I think it's okay to go after them now. So normally, when you don't have a weapon in this part, and again, that's something that's quite different, is that there's a monster that comes from here when you exit the room. And I think they do, like, you know, more of a jump scare style on this occasion. And normally you can't get out. I mean, sorry, you can't... well, I suppose you could get past the monster. But what I did last time is I lured it downstairs first, and then that allowed me to get through the door. But on this occasion, and I think probably... I think they do just try to get you, like, right here. Yep. That's also extremely diabolical, that one. So those are bad. Like, I think those are some of the worst ones, though, if you've now at least, you know, gotten over. That's a bad one as well. Especially since, like, I knew it was there. I was trying to bait it to come out earlier, but it did not. Now, normally, like I say, I would have had to potentially go downstairs, right? But in this case, you don't have to do it. You can just go straight past the monster because you can fight it. Saves maybe a little small amount of time. Instead of having to go downstairs, lure it out, go back upstairs, get the key, etc., etc.
無事だといいけど。
Now there is a collectible which I need to be aware of. Coming up. I think. At least I hope I haven't missed it. But yeah, it's not one that is easy to find, honestly. It is in plain sight, but yeah. Anyway, there's another monster coming up here. But at least on this occasion, they kind of just throw it at me. Yeah, hopefully I haven't missed the other collectible. Again, many saves is going to be important. I think we're coming up to the point at which normally you would get a weapon for the first time. Ah, here it is. This is the box. So there's some of these boxes that have seals on them, which you can't open. I think you can't open them in new game. I mean, you can't open them the first playthrough. So that's the other sort of new content. Here we have some kind of like, it's like a folklore story trying to explain toxic gas leaks and linking it to folklore. And I think with the writer of Higurashi, this is like a pretty common thing. Like I say, mixing folklore with reality and like trying to explain it. I think in Higurashi, the mix is like, there's like an element, there is a supernatural element in Higurashi, obviously, but then there's also another thing, like a disease in the village, which, you know, people think it's like a curse or something, but it actually just ends up being like a real world, like a real issue. So here we go, another attack here, but at least it's not a jump scare situation. Hopefully I can get my swings in here, even though it's narrow. Okay, we're able to do it, just barely. Oh, I forgot to donate. Where's that? Yeah, okay. It's already too far away from it. It's fine. My inventory is full anyway. I mean, not full. My inventory is empty, basically, anyway, so... I'm trying to remember if there's any more... I think I'm getting attacked here as well. Okay, no, there's another... Yeah, so there's another scare here. Because they show you that monster, and then when you kind of follow it, there's actually a really diabolical placement around the corner. So that is horrible as well. I think... Okay, no, you can't go up that way. But we should be almost, you know, almost out of this. Now let's actually make sure that we put the... let's put this... Oops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. There, and then swap... swap these around. And yeah, just so that we get the pills out of the way. We need to get those out of the quick bar like as fast as possible. Yeah, so there is a monster like right here, like right around this corner here. And you can't even see it. like even now, right? So that placement is diabolical. Like even if I tried to sort of find it, to be able to see it around the corner, I couldn't, and that's annoying. Okay, we barely got away with that. Yeah, they just sort of put it there. I mean, yeah, that's a rough one. That's a rough one as well. But I think we have at least ticked all the boxes in terms of the collectibles. Yeah, I'm not sure if that whole shoe scene happens that way either. I mean, I don't remember him calling out like that, but I don't know. Maybe he did. It's been a while since I played this part, obviously. So here they just, you know, this is a freebie. They just have the monster come out normally. That's fine. And then I think we are just going straight into the cutscene here around the corner. So yeah, some of the monster placement, unfortunately, on New Game Plus is a bit more diabolical, which is unfortunate. Okay, you got a shrine here, but I don't even think you can you even use it? I think you go, or do you just go straight into the cutscene here? Pills is a no. Okay, no, you can. So I'm gonna pick up the baseball bat. I need to, not this. I need to offer the comb. I wonder what happens like if you can still just keep drawing Omamori even if you kind of already have them all. Okay, and then we have a cutscene here. And there's nothing new here, so we just go straight into the fight. Okay, and there is something new here, so I have to wait. So the red stuff is, I mean, that kind of effect, I think it's supposed to be mimicking the effect of the drugs, but of course we're like refraining from taking them, at least like right now. So that part I think is new, like where Shu comes in, like that I don't remember, and then I think we get to hear the fox guy talking a little bit here, which I think is also different. Yeah, so I think that is different. Don't remember. I don't necessarily remember that, but so this puzzle is the same, which is obviously very helpful. If I remember correctly, let's see. This would just be the leaf. Pretty sure it's like this and this. Yeah. No new cutscene here. again, this is probably, you know, drug effect type of situation. Nothing new here. Of course, you meet the fox guy there. So here, I don't think that there's any sort of jump scare until we get to the main shrine area, so it's fine to run for now. And then, of course, here, like, the solution for this puzzle is going to be the same. So we're able to skip this, but there is some new content which we will need to explore. Or we will need to do some exploration. Unfortunately. In order to unlock everything. So that is unfortunate, but yeah. What the hell is that? Oh, I didn't notice this one, actually. I mean, there isn't much to it, but yeah, I did not notice that last time. So we just need to make it to this shrine, and then I don't know how much I will continue past here, because yeah, so there's the shrine. Nothing new here, except do we get attacked after this? I don't think so. And the game does actually... I don't actually think you can... you can't explore until you have followed this guy all the way to the shrine over here. Or whatever this is, this other path. And then you can explore freely after that. So you basically end up discovering, like, hey, the shrine is locked. Like, surprise, surprise. Also funny that there's capsules left over here. Yeah, so I can open that gate already, but the problem with that is that it will actually lock me out of being able to explore this area, which I need to do in order to find everything. So, and I think I also cannot, like, I'm trying to get, I think, to like this part here below, but I can't go there without interacting with the shrine over here. So I think I do need to go through, yeah, this gate. And then I think I have tested, like, can I just avoid interacting with this? But you can't, so it does make you walk up. Where I want to go is down here on the bottom right, but it will continuously make me go back to the shrine. And then here we get attacked, so we need to be pretty quick with that. Just use all of our stamina. That's why we... That's exactly why we got the stamina. The extra stamina in the first place, I guess, is to just spam. Now, this part of the map, I'm not actually sure. I don't actually even remember if it was here the first time, to be honest with you. So we are going to move up because I think the first bit of, you know, new stuff, I think, is here. Yeah, so we have one upgrade there. So that was it. And then one more thing down here. And again, I don't actually remember if there was, if you could even go here. Like in the first playthrough. I don't really remember. Maybe you could. But there is a box here that you couldn't open. So that's the other thing that we need to make sure we get here. And quite a good area, to be honest with you. Like, it's actually quite a solid scene here with this tree. And I think this is mimicking something that... Are these eyes? Wow, okay, that is very bizarre. But I think that is mimicking something that is in the real world, which is like the massive tree that was hit by lightning. I think it's something like that. Anyway, here's another one of these boxes that, again, you're not able to open this on the first playthrough. It's actually unfortunate because I think there are a few boxes that I probably, like this, that I probably did find on the first playthrough, but of course couldn't open. So it's kind of weird. It's like you find a box, but you can't even interact with it. So you're just kind of left with nothing. Yeah, so stories about divine beings marrying humans or whatever. Another Omamori. Okay, so now we can just get out. And by get out, I mean... See, I really don't remember that being on the map in the first time I played this particular map. Anyway. Now we need to make our way back. Ah, yes. So there's like new stuff here. But I think I'm gonna decide not to fight any of that. And that does also lead me to believe that that stuff was not in the like first playthrough. I'm not sure that was there. So again, like I say, we are able to open the gate because it's the same solution as when we played the first time. So another save here. And then we need to be ready to run after this because, yeah. So, let's see. I think... Yeah. So that's, again, the exact same puzzle solution, but instead of having to look for all those Emmas and turn them over and stuff like that, we do not have to do that this time because we already have the solution. Now, unfortunately, what we do have to do here play through this. And I may well get hit, you know, while trying to run back up this way. Could easily happen. These things are really annoying. Oh, I really want that bandage though. Probably a bit greedy for that bandage, to be fair. So we can just sort of dash through. And then one more here. Okay, that was a little bit close. Really just wanted to get out. Luckily, a fairly straight line, so.
先ほどの扉は客人を招くためのものだ。だが、こちらの扉は聖域へ入ることを許された者にしか開かれない。
私は入っていいの？
もちろんだとも。君を招くために今日がある。まだ少し歩かねばならないが、しばし休もうか。
大丈夫です。
疲れたらすぐに言いなさい。では、行こうか。
So this thing, this was in the first playthrough, but I don't actually know what that is. So I have that question. It seems like it's her sister, right? Because again, you have the doll placement there. That I'm not sure was in the first playthrough, like seeing the doll. So I suppose that's supposed to indicate like, oh, okay, that's her sister like doing something, I guess. And then this is different as well, I think. I don't think this whole conversation with Shu happens in the first playthrough, but I don't remember, honestly. If it does happen, I'm not sure that it happens in exactly the same way. Shu just has like enough of that sort of like uncanniness about him where you're just like this guy is like, it's just weird. So that's very effective just in the facial expressions. It's one of those things that works out for horror because it's like maybe the animation or whatever is just janky, but it could also be deliberate, so it just works out. This is kind of like a weird thing too, but
どうした早く来ないと置いてくぜ
I mean, soundtrack actually goes hard there. That sort of major cadence at the end, if that's even what it's called, I honestly forget. But
しっかりしないと
when the light comes on and she was actually there, I mean that's kind of encouraging. So now all we need is to pause because I think we have gotten everything that we need. Actually, I think there is a shrine that should still be here. Yeah, there is. Okay, so we're gonna use this and stop. So that's like some decent progress. I mean, we made it past... I mean, we made it through, obviously, the opening section and then the first Shrine World section. And then we're back, and I think we're going straight into the field section with the scarecrows.